All right, we're back. It's me. Excuse me. It's the Hatening, and got another party story for you. So there was like a house in Frederick. That was like a party house, kind of. I think it only lasted a couple of good parties, but you know, it was one of those situations where it's like the parents would go out of town and the kid would like invite people, and they would invite people, and they would invite people, and then next thing you know, you got a decent amount of dozens of kids in your like suburban house, right? And to the best of my knowledge, like nothing wild or crazy ever happened. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a beer pong, karaoke, hot tub, you know, whatever type of thing. I went to like a few parties at that house. Like I remember there was one instance where there was like a huge like group shower in the basement. And so a bunch of people decided like to get in because it was funny, you know, like that kind of stuff. I remember changing my clothes after being in that shower, like putting on dry clothes, and this drunk girl walked in on me changing and like yelped because she saw me naked. And and I got out of the shower and there were a bunch of people in the bathroom, and she said something about how like she had seen me naked and she had seen my dick. And I was like, oh yeah, if you saw my dick, then what's it look like? And she was like, I don't know, it was small. And I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, you did see it. but yeah, no, like, so a lot of people would come in and out of these parties and hang out, and it was all like homies or homies of homies. Nothing crazy would ever happen. No one ever really get too rowdy. But there's one really good instance of the rowdiness. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And so people were like obviously really into beer pong, and there's always like at least one beer pong game going at like any party at this time. But you know, at this house, there was always beer pong happening. And these two guys were playing, and it's not that they didn't get along, but one of the dudes was like very like rowdy and kind of rough around the edges. And the other guy, like, he wasn't, but you could tell that he like could be, right? And so when they're racking up, you know, the cups and they're putting beer in the cups, the one guy takes a cup and says, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get more beer. And he went somewhere and he pissed in that cup and he racked it for the other guy, right? So now this guy has a bunch of cups full of beer and one cup full of piss. And no one knew about it. I don't think. I didn't know about it. I was like in the other room, but then like I kind of wandered over as you know, like you do in a party, right? And so I'm hanging out in the room where they are playing beer pong. And they're sinking shots back and forth and everything's normal. No one's really paying that much attention. You know, people are just kind of like standing around the table doing whatever. And then the guy sinks a shot and the other guy goes up to drink the cup, and the liquid hits his fucking tongue and he immediately spits it out onto the floor. You know, he's like, oh, what the fuck? You know, starts yelling. And the other guy starts like just hysterically laughing at him. I don't think anyone else was laughing because I really don't think anyone knew. And so then the dude was like, you know, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, is that piss? Is that piss? And the guy is just continuing to just laugh at him right from the other side of the table. And to be fair, good prank, you know, funny prank. If I was tricked into drinking pee at beer pong, like that's, you know, you got me. That's a good one. But this dude was fucking pissed, right? So he like walks around the side of the table, and that's when people start really paying attention because it's like, oh, like you're approaching someone who will fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know if like the guy who had drank the piss was like a fighter. The guy who pissed in the cup was definitely a fighter. You know what I mean? So the guy like moves like, you know, over towards the side of the table, and then they kind of like meet in the middle. And at this point, people are like rushing over and trying to like get ready to separate or figure out what's going on. And the guy who had drank the piss, you know, puts his finger in the guy's chest and was like, you're a motherfucker. And then the guy who pissed in the cup, he retorts with, oh yeah, well, you're a piss drinker, and then punched him in the face. And it was so fucking funny. Like, it's It was fucked up, don't get me wrong, but goddamn was that funny. Just, you're a piss drinker. Thwap! And then just like, they didn't really like scrap or anything, but it was kind of just like a one punch. Maybe the other dude like punched back, but then they got separated and there's a lot of fuck you, no fuck you, like all that kind of stuff. And I think people got kicked out or asked to leave because, you know, the person who was hosting the party was, you know, like we had to clean up so his parents didn't know how big the party was or whatever after every party. But you know what I mean? It was just like so fucking funny just to be, you know, minding your own business. And then you're a motherfucker, you're a piss drinker. And then just like chaos ensues, you know? I wonder if suburban kids are still having parties like that. I would assume so. I would hope so. But the way that everyone documents their lives, I feel like you would see or hear more about that stuff on like TikTok and Instagram. I can't imagine having social media back then to the extent that we do now. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Well, you know, that's it. That's that one. Thank you for listening. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Give us a good review. If that's too much for you, which I understand, just keep on listening. It's pretty cool too. But yeah, take care of yourself and the people around you, and don't forget to tell your friends you love them.